G'day, welcome back to the channel and welcome to this edition of MGUY EV News for Friday the 12th of July 2024. Please make sure you're subscribed and make sure you enable all notifications so you never miss another video. So this shows the kind of people that live close to where I live in North Sydney, entitled EV owners who think they can do what the hell they like. Let's watch the video.
The couple facing a fine because, like a lot of Australians, they don't have a driveway.
It's not easy being green.
It's illegal for me to charge my car. That seems crazy.
Just ask John and Chantel.
This is a letter. What's it saying?
In a nutshell, it's saying that next time I do it, I'll be charged $330.
They were forced to MacGyver a charging system for their clean green Tesla because they have no off-street parking.
We were laying the cable across the footpath. We were then covering the cable with a trip hazard protector.
Problem solved until the North Sydney Council got involved and gave John and Chantel's setup a red light, labelling it unsafe.
We got a letter from council threatening us a $300 fine if we continued to do that.
I do not understand what or how we can cause a risk to pedestrians when the cables are covered with what is an approved safety device.
Now, suddenly their car is much more expensive to run than what they bargained for. John says support for drivers of electric cars is stalling.
I think it's an impediment to the take-up of electric vehicles. And we're in a climate emergency. Everything we can do to make...
If you don't have off-street parking, don't buy an EV. You should have checked that before you bought it. Sorry, you can't just string cables across the pavement and think that's okay. Well, apparently they do, because we're in a climate emergency. We can do what the hell we like. No, you can't. Bad luck. So, compare and contrast these two stories, one from the UK and one from Argentina. From the UK, Miliband overrules officials with immediate ban on new North Sea oil. Excellent. Ed Miliband has ordered an immediate ban on drilling in new North Sea oil fields in a decision that overrules Energy Department officials and risks triggering a wave of legal action. In an unusual intervention into what is typically an apolitical process, the Energy Secretary has decided that regulators will not approve a round of drilling in new oil fields that was slated for confirmation in the coming weeks. His decision to block the licences means that companies will have wasted millions of pounds on preparing their bids, with experts warning they are likely to take legal action as a result. The decision comes after the Telegraph asked for updates on outstanding drilling licence applications. See, this is the kind of extremist environmental nonsense that we're going to get, or that you guys in the UK are going to get from this mad Starmer government. They don't care about all the procedures. They don't care about the amount invested by companies. They just have to stop the oil. Just stop oil. They're as bad as Extinction Rebellion. And let's have a look at Argentina. Argentina's future lies in the balance as vast oil fields poised for extraction. Good for them. We have to get through all the environmental BS first, so just stick with that. The new bill that would allow the exploitation of vast oil fields will be, ecologists are certain, the nail in Argentina's coffin. We are facing the pinnacle of extractivism. The final adjustment of the screw so that Argentina is no longer a sovereign country over it. What? Anyway. The law being debated by Argentina's National Congress is designed to attract billions of dollars of investment into the oil and gas industry. Viale is president of the Argentine Association of Environmental Lawyers, one of 50 civil society organizations opposing the bill. Of course they are. Ernesto Lopez Anadon also has his eyes fixed on the legislation's progress. As head of the Instituto Argentino de Petróleo y Gas, a think tank that conducts research and analysis in the energy sector, he has an interest in what lies ahead for the country's oil and gas ambitions. The bill would benefit the oil and gas industry and lithium extraction, leaving behind any serious energy transition ambitions, and send the country headfirst into the Latin American oil rush. Well, good for them, because quite frankly, like I've said before, and like we'll see in this next article, oil and gas are going to be around for decades, if not centuries. And to just stop drilling and stop producing it like at a drop of a hat is mental. And here's another article on the same topic. World's largest oil company bets on the enduring power of petrol. Saudi Aramco says combustion engines will be around for a very, very long time after horse powertrain investment. Saudi Aramco is betting the internal combustion engine will be around for a very, very long time as the world's largest oil company spots a business opportunity from the rise of the electric car. The state-owned oil group, which made $500 billion in revenues last year, mainly from producing and selling crude, last month took a €750 million 10% stake in Horse Powertrain, a company dedicated to building fuel-based engines. The calculation by Saudi Aramco and the other shareholders in Horse, Chinese carmaker Geely, and its French peer Renault, is that as the industry stops designing and developing its own combustion engines, it will start buying them from third parties. It will be incredibly expensive for the world to completely stamp out or do without internal combustion engines, said Yasser Mufti, the executive vice president at Saudi Aramco, responsible for the deal. If you look at affordability and a lot of other factors, I do think they will be around for a very, very long time. Asked if he thought there would be internal combustion engines forever, Mufti said yes. Saudi Aramco has previously said it believes that even in 2050, more than half of all cars will still run on some sort of fuel. Yep, absolutely right. I think more than half will still run on fuel. Oh dear. Oopsies. What a fitting end for a pointless EV. Lotus immediately crashes its 2,000 horsepower Evija X prototype at Goodwood Festival of Speed. It barely got off the line. It barely got off the start line. It was a hard hit for the electric hypercar as it left the start line on Thursday. The time attack slanted all-electric Lotus Evija X prototype crashed directly into the wall on driver's right as it was leaving the start line for a run up the hill at Goodwood on Thursday. The racer, based on Lotus's electric hypercar, features nearly 2,000 horsepower, sticky racing slick tyres and enough downforce to shift the planet's alignment in the solar system. But none of that was enough to prevent the driver from immediately losing control of the $2.3 million electric British exotic. With that kind of power, it all happens in an instant, and something just didn't line up quite right when the driver went into burnout mode, clattering all of the carbon right off the machine. Lotus should stick to building small, light sports cars, which is what it's known for, and what it has been known for decades, and what it's best at. All this electric nonsense, it's just a joke. It's just a joke. Right before the election, the Biden administration bribes the auto industry with another fat donation of taxpayers' money to the tune of $1 billion. Great. Feds give $1 billion to GM Stellantis for EV projects. The Energy Department is giving out $1.7 billion in grants to GM, Stellantis, Volvo Group and several suppliers to help support the industry's EV transition, i.e. to bribe them to make EVs that they can't sell. The Biden administration is giving a total of more than $1 billion to General Motors and Stellantis to support increased electric vehicle production. Overall, the federal government is contributing $1.7 billion to projects at 11 plants in 8 states. The grants include $500 million for GM's Lansing Grand River Assembly Plant in Michigan, $334.8 million for the Belvidere Assembly in Illinois that Stellantis idled last year, and $250 million for Stellantis to make electric drive modules at a transmission plant in Indiana. The projects would create more than 2,900 jobs and retain 15,000 workers, the US Department of Energy said. This is like buying jobs. This is like buying votes. It's disgraceful. This is just a bribe. It's just a bribe. They didn't have to bankroll automotive manufacturers to build petrol cars. No. Why not? Because people want to buy them. Well, $1.7 billion, that's an awful lot of nurses, is all I can say. Not a great look for Tesla. Maybe they should use this as their advertising material. Tesla bursts into flames at EV charging station in Upper Allen. A call for a car fire in Upper Allen turned out to be a much more difficult blaze to put out after officials determined the fire happened at an EV station. The fire happened at the Upper Allen Sheets at around 5:50 p.m. Monday night, according to Upper Allen Fire Department. When they arrived on scene, fire crews started battling the flames and later were able to douse the car's battery after most of the fire was put out. After this, officials stated the Tesla was then towed away while crews remained on scene for any possible spills, runoffs or possible reignition of the fire. And here's another side effect of EVs popping up, especially EV charging systems, is because they have such high power electrical components running all the time, they need huge amounts of cooling, like air conditioning basically, to take the heat away from these charging stations, and they make a hell of a noise. And that is now disturbing residents in San Francisco, one of the greenest cities on earth. And we'll see what the neighbors think of this.
Waking up, going to sleep, or working from home to this noise all day, every day. That's the reality for residents living on Clara Street in San Francisco's Soma district after this EV cooling fan was installed. EVs are the future, but is this fair to residents? Electrify America, an electric vehicle charging company, opened a station across the street from her home. With it came giant fans used to cool the EV equipment. Neighbors say it's been there around 6 to 9 months now, making it hard to work or even sleep. Electrify America added they're exploring an option of relocating the fan exhaust, but that requires a new permit and review.
I mean, the weird thing about this is that why would they allow this multi-vehicle charging station to be built right in the middle of a residential area? I mean, are there no fire restrictions in San Francisco to deal with this? How is this possibly legal? And the noise. I mean, it's just a ridiculous situation. Unintended consequences, once again. All right, that's about it for this one. Thanks very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next one. Bye for now.